Chef Daniel de Villiers and welcome to the Volkskombuis. Today we are going to make a lamb curry for you. So just to go through what we've got here, we've got 100 grams of chopped rosemary, we've got crushed garlic, Worcestershire sauce, a kilogram of lamb leg. I didn't trim the fat off, I enjoy quite a fatty lamb. Then we also have 1 onion, 1 pepper, 1 celery, 300 grams of chutney, salt and pepper, 2 potatoes, a teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of curry, 1 tablespoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of cumin, and 5 cardamom seeds crushed. So to start off with, we're going to take our cubed lamb leg that has been deboned. You can use it with the bone, you can use lamb stew, any lamb meat or even beef meat that you want to use for this works perfectly. Like I said, this is plus minus a kilo. So we're going to start off with the rosemary. We're going to use a little bit of garlic in there, and we're going to add the Worcestershire sauce there. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to rub it all in, nice and neat. Right, then we're just going to season a bit of salt, some coarse pepper. You can use fine if you've got, but I prefer the coarse pepper. Alright, so we're going to take the lamb and we're going to sear it off. So over here, I've got a nice hot skillet pan. As soon as it starts smoking a bit, you know the pan is hot enough, and you're going to take your lamb. And when you put the lamb in the pan, you want a sound. That's what you want. So the idea of this is to sear in all the flavour that we've rubbed in, and to give the lamb a very nice colour to it. This will take about anything from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of your pan. You can do it in 2-3 different batches. You don't have to do everything in one pan if your pan is not big enough. Just make sure not to leave it on for too long, as it will start burning at the bottom. The idea will be then to render the fat on all the lamb and to get a very nice color to the meat, which is going to make your curry a lot more flavorful. Alright, so we've got nice color on the lamb, everything is seared in as we need it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the lamb one side, and then we're going to start with the rest. So over here I've got a thick base pot. It always works best with stews and curries and those type of things because it doesn't burn easily at the bottom. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my curry, I'm going to take my turmeric, that goes into the pot, my cumin, my nutmeg and my cardamom, everything goes into the pot. The idea for this is to toast it and to get all the flavors of everything to incorporate, to extract from it. The longer you toast it, the more it extracts the flavors and the better it becomes. When you do this, you can actually start smelling all the smells of the curry and the nutmeg and the cumin and everything coming together. As soon as this has a very light smoke to it, don't know if you can see it through the camera, but it has a very, very light smoke coming out of it, then you know it's been toasted enough. So then we're going to add our onions to it, we're going to add our green peppers, and we're going to add our celery to it. So 1 whole onion chopped, a large green pepper, pips taken out, that's diced, and then a celery thinly sliced. So this is all going to get sauteed with all the spices that's in there. Add a little bit of olive oil just to get the sauteing process going. And you can already smell a very, very, very nice curry smell to it. If you do want a very spicy curry, by this point you can add a tablespoon of cayenne pepper and a tablespoon of paprika and 2 whole chilies chopped up. Mix it in, saute it with everything. It gives it a very, very nice, hot, spicy curry. Alright, so while we're browning this, over here we have our lamb and we've got potato that's been cubed. 2 whole potatoes that have been cubed. I've left the skin on. I enjoy the skin of the potato. If you prefer, you can always peel it. This is not cooked, it's still raw. We're going to add it to the curry raw as is. So that has been sauteed. We're going to take the lamb and we're going to pop that in with all its juices and everything that goes along with it. Just give that a mix through. see, very nice orange curry color to it. Then all we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of water. We're going to top it so it barely covers the lamb with some water. Alright, so once it starts boiling, it needs to cook for at least 15 minutes before we add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so the curry has been cooking for about 10, 15, 20 minutes now. It's reduced very nicely. The meat is almost as tender as we want it, but not quite there yet. At this point is where you add your potatoes. So just strain the water off your potatoes. The reason why we lay the potatoes in water is to prevent it from going brown. So we've got 2 large potatoes in there, very nice. Add your potatoes to there. That's a nice starch to have with your curry, and it's going to help thicken the sauce of the curry. This needs to cook for another 15 minutes, or you can test it every 10-5 minutes just to see if the potatoes is cooked and if the meat is as tender as you want it to be. The sauce will not be as reduced and thick as you want it, but that will come later. Alright, the curry has been cooking for about 15 minutes now. The potatoes are nice and soft, but still firm, they're not falling apart. The meat is nice and tender, but also not falling apart. So if you do look at it, you have nice chunks of meat, you've got nice chunks of potato, you can still see your onions, your celery, and everything still in there. It is beautiful. So last thing we're going to do, we're going to take the chutney. Now this is optional, you don't have to add the chutney. I add the chutney to it because it gives a nice sweetness to the curry and a little bit of tang. If you don't want to add chutney, you don't want to add that much, you can always reduce the quantity of it, or just leave the chutney altogether. What also works well, dried apricots. Chop up some dried apricots, add it to it instead of the chutney, works beautifully. So we're going to add this to the curry now. We're going to mix it through. And then all this has to do is cook for just 5 more minutes for the chutney and everything to cook through. You can see the sauce is already almost very nice thick. Depending on how thick you want the sauce, that's depending on how long you're going to cook it from this point. If you want it thicker, you cook it longer. If you want a little bit more stewy sauce, you don't have to cook it as long. I like it for a little 5 more minutes, and then it's going to be perfect. Alright, so curry is done. The sauce is as thick as I want it to be. It's not too thick, it's also not too runny. It's got a very nice smell to it. If you, like I said before, if you want it spicy, you can add a lot of spices to it to make it more spicy. I enjoy this type of curry, kind of sweet, not too spicy, but just enough flavor in it. So all we're going to do now is we're going to dish it up. You can serve it with rice, you can serve it with mash, you can serve it with a baked potato if you want, or you can add roasted vegetables right here to it and make it a dish on its own. It is perfect for any winter's day. It is even very good on a summer's day, and the longer that you make it in advance, the better it becomes. Just a little bit of sauce over there. And there you have it. This is my version of a lamb curry. This curry is very similar to the one that we have at the menu at the moment. You can order a takeaway from Monday to Saturday between 10 and 6. It is very, very nice when it rains and it's cold outside. It goes well with these 3 wines right here. We've got Anton Rupert Optima, Rust en Vrede Estate, and a Fleur de Cap Chardonnay. These wines are also available to purchase at the restaurant at your convenience. You can either pick up or we can deliver it straight to you. Thank you.